The world is changing. Every day there is a new trend, a new wave, the next big thing, and so it goes. Online, you see people who earn lots of money through crypto. There is always a success story better than the one before. However, for the majority of people, their portfolios not only haven't increased, but shrunk. And these people might be thinking, why is this happening to me? Why me? What I'm doing wrong? In today's episode, we will be talking about financial decisions and habits which either help or hinder your progress when it comes to investing in crypto. Hi, I'm Vlad, and this is your Bunny Money channel with a weekly dose of crypto trading and finance related info. We discuss new trends and make tutorials that allow you to understand this complicated money world better. You can protect your assets, find better opportunities, and gain new knowledge. Keep in mind though that nothing on this channel is financial advice and provided for educational purposes only. Today's video will be separated in two parts. First, we will discuss how to become successful in the world of crypto. Next, we will talk about some bad habits which stop people from becoming good at investing. And before we dive in, remember that no matter how badly we want to blame our circumstances, our gains and losses, our wins and moments of despair, all depends on us, our knowledge, decisions, experience, character, and habits. The better you know the market, the more you understand yourself, the better results you will have regardless of how bad outside circumstances might get. It's crucial to understand the very basics of investment and value. Lots of people work a 9-to-5 job, save money, then invest it into one project or another. What separates successful investors from the rest though is that good investors know how to do it properly and know how to allow their money to generate more money. Yes, we live in the world where inflation exists and the cost of living constantly increases. Money loses its value over time. Little by little, you lose a percentage of what you had. So instead of viewing money as this magical unicorn you are supposed to chase for the rest of your life, make money work for you. Make money earn more money for your benefit. Put it into stocks or a hedge fund. Invest in yourself, since you will never fail with that one. Treat any and every investment as a business opportunity. And understand the value of whatever you choose to put your money in. Whatever you buy or invest in has its own value, which isn't constant but can change over time. If a project loses its value, you have a problem. So look for a valuable idea with the potential for growth. Cash flow. This is by far one of the most fundamental concepts when it comes to earning money. As soon as you have a disposable income, you have a choice of either spending it on liabilities, items which for sure might give you pleasure, but which will depreciate in value over time, or assets, those that might become sources of passive income. Fancy cars, biggest TVs, and massive yachts are all nice, but they won't earn money. Instead, you would have to cash out on maintenance every once in a while. Yachts in particular would make you spend up to 20% of their value per year on maintenance. Sure, these things are nice, and I'm not saying you should get rid of any object that makes you happy and go live off the grid. What I'm saying is that you must understand cash flow when looking at the things you own or plan to invest in. On crypto market, there are plenty of options for generating a positive cash flow for you. Opportunity catcher. Just like dream catchers that are supposed to catch any and all bad dreams, opportunity catcher jump on any and all new possibility of earning money. This type of people are always ready to jump on the latest bandwagon. Take blockchain technology. Its development resembles that of the internet. Look at Google, Apple, or Amazon. Companies that started small but later became huge corporations. We all know that if only we invested in them at the very start, we would have been financially secure by now. So it's only reasonable that people are searching for similar opportunities these days. Already a lot gained financial freedom thanks to blockchain technologies. Some mined Bitcoin and Ethereum, others bought them cheaply in the past. There are those who flipped their investment through NFTs and those who had tremendous profits in NFT games. However, just like not every company in the past developed as good as Google or Apple, not every current crypto project will grow. A lot will fade into obscurity as the years go by. This is where risks come in and you should be aware of them. Every time someone tells you it's too late to start with crypto, don't believe them. Trust me, there are so many who have never invested in crypto as of yet. There are plenty who don't talk about crypto a lot, which is why it's important to stay up to date and chase new opportunities, provided they have the potential for growth and carry minimal risks in your current financial situation. Knowledge and consistency. If you have been around this channel for some time, you might roll your eyes and say, "Here he goes again." Yes, I'm about to say it for the 100th time. Knowledge is everything in crypto, and you should always understand what you are doing with your money. The more you know about the project, its white paper, the team, what it does, what the code is, what's happening with it right now, the better. Also, understand the most fundamental and technological parts of crypto market to lose less. Crypto market is highly volatile and, as of now, quite unregulated, with plenty of scam projects around. So it's in your best interest to be ahead of people who don't have your best interests at heart. Consistency is equally important. You can't just throw your money into a project, lie back on your couch and watch TV. Stay up to date with what's happening on crypto market and in the world. If you are still unsure of your level or skill and ability and scared to put your money in all at once, there is either an option of investing a small amount and seeing how it goes, or there is a type of investment called dollar cost averaging investment. It's a method of investment strategy which allows you to divide the total amount of money you plan to put into something across a time period with the aim of reducing the impact of volatility on your overall purchase. It's usually done with regular intervals when the asset is purchased. Bad habits and types of crypto investors. So now let's talk about habits which might work against you on crypto market. Thanks to our imperfectly perfect human nature, all crypto investors can be divided into certain types. And if you recognize one of them in yourselves, don't think that these bad habits signify that you are a bad human being. No, not at all. These are behavioral patterns which, while might be natural, on the market won't work in your favor. And these patterns can be changed should you choose to do so. I also believe that some of these features appear in all of us in certain circumstances. So there really is nothing to be ashamed of. Risk intolerance. Investors with low risk tolerance will only put their money into a project that promises them 100% guaranteed returns. Anything less or any whiff of a risk and they will stay away, which is how they might not invest into anything ever. Sure, we talk about risks and how we should always try to minimize them. However, even when doing everything to avoid high risks, we should keep in mind that risks are always there. There is always a possibility of something going wrong no matter how well you prepare. And as with crypto market, it's an especially risky one. When someone with low risk tolerance enters crypto market, they might find something negative with otherwise good project, or they might say that it's a scam. They might complain about market or the lack of regulations, which is why they will stay away from even the most promising projects. If this is you, make peace with risks. They exist everywhere. Learn how to control your impulse to pull the plug. Understand the level of your risk tolerance. Create a plan of how you would cope if the worst case scenario comes true. With the strategies in place, you will be calmer when entering the market. And to give you an example, Bitcoin and Ethereum have smaller risks when it comes to the loss of value, since both are big and established projects. However, their potential for earnings growth is small. With smaller market cap projects, however, the risks might be high, but the potential of growth is also high. Sloths. This type of investors would rather listen to others rather than take actions and find out everything there is about a project. To be good, you have to be a cockroach and look for new ways to survive all the time. But these people, they don't react proactively. They hesitate, or they would rather listen to a friend than dedicate a few hours to a thorough research. They don't seek knowledge, they don't develop their own formulas for trading. If you think this is you, get to work. No one but you will find the best strategy for your circumstances. What works for your friend might not work for you. What your friend thinks might be wrong. Do it yourself, so that if you fail, you can learn from your mistakes instead of blaming someone else. Blamers. When things go wrong, it's tempting to blame everyone and everything else but you. Blame the creator of the NFT that failed. Blame whoever created the project or suggested it to you. While it's tempting, remember that no one else but you choose to invest your money. Don't search for reasons and explanations anywhere else. You pressed the button, you approved the transaction. It was your decision, which might be a tough pill to swallow. Fakers. It's very tempting to brag about your achievements, especially thanks to social media, where we can showcase our carefully crafted stories to the world. Hey, that guy bullied me in high school. Why don't I rub it into his face how well off I am now compared to him? Sure, I get that. But what this trend does overall is that it creates this illusion that everyone's portfolio constantly grows. People pretend and exaggerate their profits, they only talk about winning, which is understandable. However, don't be fooled by that. Everyone loses money at some point. There is no one who is profitable 100% of the time. Those who tell you that investing in crypto is easy, or those who brag about their results, might make you feel bad. But remember that this is not an accurate depiction of reality. You win some, you lose some. If you find yourself tempted to brag and paint a picture better than your current reality, think about whether it will make you feel good after a while. And if you find yourself in a vicious cycle of comparison, take a step back and remember that constant wins without any losses are impossible. Hypersensitivity. I believe that hypersensitivity stems from insecurity. Hypersensitive people tend to worry a lot, often when it comes to tiniest changes or fake news. FUD makes them sell when they shouldn't. Hype and exaggeration makes them invest into risky projects that result in losses. Their mood goes left and right. If they discover something unpleasant, this might not only result in sour mood, but in destroyed relationships with people. If this is you, remember that it's understandable to feel disappointed if your investment didn't work out. However, if your mood swings influence your life in a bad way to a high degree, maybe it's time to make a step back and learn some coping strategies before continuing to trade. Why? Because not only your hypersensitivity influences your life outside of crypto market, it also makes you particularly failure prone on it. Overall, our bad habits and behavioral patterns that work against us when it comes to investing have been influenced by our circumstances, upbringing, education, etc. However, nothing is set in stone and the change is possible. Of course, it's hard work, but it's the work that needs to be done if you want financial freedom. This was our episode for today. If you found it useful, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button. I'm Vlad. See you in the next episode.